Welcome everyone to the top chart setup video for today, August 11th, 2021. We don't have any recent wave setups posted that haven't already been discussed, but I do still have some ideas to go over here as something to keep an eye on. First up is PGNY, which has pulled back according to expectations for a fourth wave within this intermediate degree wave 3, starting to enter into standard target support that we look for a fourth wave to hold, the 382 to 50% retracement to the prior third. So just touching the upper end of that support, 44.78. We need to see some evidence of a local bottom in place. Does have room to stretch lower down to 39.61 if needed, but looking for some evidence of price attempting a local bottom within this range for the turn back up as the start to this wave 5 of 3 and a decent swing trade potential there once we get evidence of the local bottom in place. Next up, taking a look at JKS. So noted that we should be dealing with a initial wave 1 of C off of the low that was made in July, looking for wave 2 pullback to follow. So the pullback starting today does look like we are now working on that wave 2. Seems like just an A wave down so far, although we're getting close to the 382 retracement, the upper end of support for that wave 2. So if we get a BC, likely would take price closer to the 50 or 618 for the entry point, between about 52 and 50. And then set a stop underneath the July low for full invalidation, or if looking for a tighter stop underneath the 786 at 47.43 to play for the start to that C wave higher, or the C wave of a larger A. ROKU is drifting a little bit lower here, pushing a bit farther into the retracement support for either this blue B wave, the blue wave 2 or the red B wave. So we've already tested a 382 retracement, now stretching closer to the 50%, 355, and the 200-day moving average. And looking actually a little bit more complete now with subwaves for a C here within this expanded flat. So looks like the more recent low is a micro fifth, so we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now a micro fifth of that C wave. So no clear evidence of a local bottom in place. Still room to stretch a little bit lower, but this seems like a reasonable spot to begin adding to positions or layering into a new position if interested, setting a stop either underneath the 618 retracement for about as tight of a stop as I would recommend. Give it a little bit more room below the 786, or up to full invalidation below the May low. Moving on to VRSN. Have discussed this chart before when price was starting to test the top end of that blue box, the 382 retracement at 214. Getting a little bit deeper into that support, but looking still very constructive and attractive here as potential wave 2 nearing completion. Again, no evidence of that local bottom in place yet. It could still stretch a little bit lower. We're looking at the 200-day moving average and the 50% retracement as the next support levels at 209 and 208. We'll see how it reacts to that, but keep an eye for any micro 5 waves up off of a low, or if interested, this region overall in this blue box is attractive enough to start layering into a position. DraftKings offers some shorter-term, near-term potential here as a possible 1-2-1-2 start to our wave C of B filling out. Got a little bit wider of a flat for the parenthesis wave 2 here, maybe even a running flat. I'm trying to curl back up into the close today, so could have completed, and any breakout above the prior high in the week should continue towards the 1-2-3-6 is the next fib target for the wave 3 of 3. So even using a stop underneath the wave 2 here low at the beginning of the month offers good risk reward to play for the rest of the circle wave 3 there. Dollar Tree, one of our Stock Waves 300 names, is starting to get interesting again. It's looking like the expanded flat going back to the high that was made in January at the beginning of the year, may be completing for either this blue B wave or the red wave 2. Turning up and starting to make some higher highs compared to the highs that were made in June and July here. So let's see if we can reclaim the moving averages here. The 200 and 100 day produce 5 waves up for the wave 1 of C. And I can actually snap this back to the low that was made in July here. So let's see if we get 5 up for the wave 1 of C and look for wave 2 pullback as our entry point. Or if you want to be more aggressive, even start to build a position here. But just do realize we need more evidence of that bottom in place. But it's looking like odds are beginning to increase that it is trying to turn up in the start to that C wave. CRM was a wave setup all the way back at the beginning of the year that still is looking good as far as the 5th wave currently in progress, and may have another entry opportunity here if interested in playing the shorter term move up as the wave C of 3 next. Consolidation here off of the July high seems to be trying for a wider flat as the wave B of 3, and support between 235.44 to 224.93 would be the spot to attempt adding to positions. We're entering a new position with a stop below the 764 here at 218.67 to play for that C wave back up near the high that was made last year. And final chart that I wanted to look at today is Bloomin' Brands, BLMN. It's another restaurant stock that has caught my eye. Looking like it is trying to set up a turn back up in the start to the wave 5 of 3 here. We got a nice consolidation pullback following the 100% fib that was hit back at, let's see, the beginning of end of April here. For the wave 3 of 3, pulled back into the 382 retracement, standard target for 4th wave, 200-day moving average. Trying to turn up from there. Needs a little bit more confirmation and would still just be the wave 1 of 5 if you do want to wait for that further confirmation. So next up would be a break above 28.74, then 5 up for the wave 1 of 3. But this one looks like it is trying to turn up again in the start to that 5th wave. All right, that's what I had for you guys today. See you again next time.